Hello and welcome to the first pregame show of the USN Basketball 25-26 season. Today I'm joined by Dr. Fitz and Henry Knowles. Guys, how you doing?
Outstanding. Love the start of basketball season.
Yeah, doing great. Really excited.
Yeah, so what this show is we're just going to talk about the players, talk about the games, talk about what we think is going to happen, what happened in the past. Just give you guys insights that we wouldn't be able to give you on the broadcast, and really just show our predictions for the game. We're going to try and do it once every 2 weeks. It'll usually come out hopefully on a Thursday or a Friday, right before the Friday game usually. And yeah, it'll just be a very interesting show. A lot of great insights. Today we have 6 segments. The first we're going to start with is the key returning players. The first of which is Braylon Davis. Last year, he saw 26 minutes a game. He averaged 13.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. Braylon will look to be the number one option on this team. He will lead this offense. He'll most likely take the ball up on a lot of possessions and will guard the best player on the other team. His minutes will probably stay the same, but look for an increase in shot volume. Last year, he averaged 12.3 shots a game, and he will look to increase that number likely.
Yeah,
his rebounds will also increase.
I feel like Braylon's really played that role since about middle school, and I'm hoping to see some sort of 8th grade Braylon Davis vibes as he's the leader on this team this year.
Exactly.
Tell me about 8th grade Braylon Davis. I don't know that person.
8th grade Braylon Davis was a different beast. I remember maybe averaging 1 or 2 passes a game, making up 40 shots.
All right, and the second player I'm going to highlight is Jamison Jackson. Jamison played a smaller role last year because of the older team. He had 7 minutes a game, and in those 7 minutes, he had 1.5 points per game and 0.8 assists. But if you look at the math, Jamison had the 3rd highest points per minute played of returning players, which is a very interesting stat. I did have to calculate that myself. Huddle doesn't do it for me.
Good hustle.
Yes. So Jamison will get significantly more minutes this year compared to last. He'll be the true point guard of this team. Really looks to be a facilitator. He averaged 3.65 assists per 32 minutes played, also leading the team last year. And I think he will look to drive a lot, but if that doesn't work, he has a really good jump shot to fall back on.
He was fun to watch last year in the action that he got. And like you said, statistically, a great contributor on a per-minute basis. So, it'll be interesting to see what he does in a bigger role this year.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, his brother graduated last year, so see if he can continue on the Jackson legacy.
Yes. And then the third, last but certainly not least, Akil Radford. 1.8 points per game. He averaged 5 minutes per game. And he shot the team leading 33% from 3. So, a true sharpshooter on the team. And just like Jamison, he'll get a significant minutes boost. And he'll almost play kind of like a Klay Thompson kind of guy. A real, true 3-and-D kind of guy. And that's really what we really want to see. A good shot volume and really good defense. And I think that'll be highlighted in Henry's analysis of the Hume Fog game. And his volume of shots will certainly increase from 1.2 per game, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 threes a game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I played some pickup with him. He's definitely not afraid to shoot the ball, that's for sure.
Yes.
Somebody that I definitely enjoyed watching on the chances that I got to see him play in JV games in years past. Always a solid player out there on the floor, both ends of the floor. So I think that he will be somebody that we greatly need this year as we look to fill in for the people who graduated and have moved on.
Yes. Now we're going to send it to Dr. Fitz for the second segment.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who's going to fill the roles of the players who graduated last year, because they played a significant part on this team. Obviously, Clay Payne in the 1,000-point club, he was a major contributor. Cameron Hinsey was a pleasure to watch. Great defender, lockdown defender, but could also knock a shot down when he had to, etc. Amon Anderson, Sam Jackson. So who are going to be the people who fill those roles? And when Coach Eubanks comes in and we have a chance to talk with him, I'll be interested to know what his thoughts are on that. But I could really see Akil sort of filling in the Cameron Hinsey type role. It'll be interesting to see who contributes for us at the center position or the post position. Is that going to be Henry Baxter? Is that going to be somebody else? So it's one of the most exciting times of any season, of course, the start, but especially this season with so many things that are new, including the coach. You could see a totally different brand of USN basketball, not only because of the players, but because of the coaching philosophy.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what USN basketball looks like. In what ways is it traditional USN basketball, and in what ways are we starting out down a new path?
Yeah, for sure, a lot of change this year, and we're going to step away for a second, take a look at some plays from the scrimmage against Hugh Fog on Tuesday.
All right, what's up, guys? We got some highlights here from the USN versus Team Fog scrimmage. First, we got Jamison Jackson. Quick little move on the defender, kicks it out to Braylon. Has some trouble with it first, but eventually kicks it to Jamie on the corner, who drives for the layup. Quick little basket there from the young player. Next up, defensive highlight here from Akil. The senior player, just really a heads-up play here, sees the man come at him, takes that charge for the foul. Great play from Akil there. Next up, we got Braylon, sizes up his defender, hits one jab, and right to the hoop, and that's what we're going to see from him all season long.
Now we're joined by Coach Eubanks. Coach Eubanks, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank y'all for having me. This is fun.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So, took a really close game against Hume Fog, from what I heard. It was, from what I saw, too, on the film that Henry's breaking down. What did you think of it?
It was a good experience. It was good for us to play against somebody else. We've only had 7 practices, so if we had any semblance of what we did in the game, what we did in practice, it would be a success. And there were some good things that happened. There were some really good cuts. We got good open shots. We took some bad shots, and we're learning what a good shot is and what a bad shot is. And we're learning how to move the ball, and so we did some good things. We missed a lot. The game comes down to making your free throws and your power moves, and we missed a lot of free throws, missed a lot of power moves. So it'll be a work in process. It will be a chance for us to get the ball and see if we can put it in the hoop. That's ultimately what has to happen. But we did it. It was a good first start because Braylon was really the only guy coming back from last year who played significant varsity minutes. So whether it was I was the coach or there's somebody else was the coach, it's going to be a completely different team this year than last year. So guys are stepping into new roles, guys who had not played varsity minutes before, and so it was good just to get our feet wet. And so really in the second half, we looked more comfortable and looked more aggressive because they're trying to fill out what I have, and I'm trying to fill out them, and so it's a matching up of expectations is what we're trying to accomplish. So we're happy with what result. I mean, we wish we'd have won, but it was a good start.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How has it been since you started at USN? Maybe basketball, maybe PE, maybe just people. What have you enjoyed the most?
This place has welcomed me with open arms unbelievably. It has been very accepting, and it's been joyful, and it's joy-filled. And I go back to something that the operations department said a long time ago when we were talking about parking, and parking's a tough situation, and that she said, if you need special parking, let us know, because we're USN and we take care of each other. And I've seen that over and over again already, that teachers step in for each other and people just step in. And the students here have been really, really fun to watch. Just a high quality of students who take their academics seriously and who want to do things well and who really want to get the full high school experience. And that's what's really been encouraging to me. And there's that balance there. We've talked about that with the athletic department of it's hard to be good at everything, and a lot of kids want to be involved in a lot of things. And so as a coach, you have to give and take and make it work to the best ability, because a student wants to do, part of this club, and they want to be part of Model UN, and they want to play basketball. And so you just have to adjust on the fly. But I really appreciate that about USN, about the students of USN.
That's awesome. And now back to more basketball focused. What is the most important thing that you want to see in the first couple of games of the season?
In the first couple games, we're just trying to establish a culture of, and what we're really trying to do in the first few practices here is learning how to practice, learning what it means to come into the gym and be focused, because I understand that students have a lot of homework to do and they have other responsibilities. So we're trying to get in the gym, practice intensely, get out of the gym, go home and do what we need to do outside the gym. So really coming with that intensity every single day, try to take as much advantage of it as we can. And we'll look at these next 2 games coming up next week as almost extensions of scrimmages, but trying to figure things out. Then we'll have the Thanksgiving week to kind of reorganize. Then we come back in December and we start playing 2-3 times a week. And there won't be a whole lot of time for adjustments, but it's the continuous improvement that we're trying to look for as we go along. And just a little bit every day, getting a little bit better, but really learning how to play hard and how to play together, and then just letting our individual talents take us as far as we can.
Awesome.
And you sort of spoke to this at the end of the answer that you just gave, but what would you want to be the virtues of any Coach Eubanks basketball team, the positive things that could be said about any team that's coached by you?
I would say that I want the parents and the students to walk away from it and say that they're better people for being a part of it, that it was a fun experience, that high school basketball should be fun. It should be an extension of the classroom, and so that they learn life lessons, that when they learn how to do hard things, they're going to have to do hard things when they get out of school, when they go to college, and when they go beyond college. And so life is hard, and the earlier you learn that, the earlier you learn how to fight through that adversity, the better off your life will be, honestly. And so, but at the end of the season, hopefully they'll look back and say, I grew, I developed, I made friendships, I had fun, and we won a few games, but most importantly, I'm a better person for being a part of it.
Love that.
Yeah.
And just real quick, what's one goal you have for this season?
One goal. I thought about that a lot, and we think about, do we want to win the district championship? Do we want to make it to the region tournament? Do we want to make it to the state tournament? Those type of things. And I think it comes down, for me, it comes back to, we have to try to win one possession at a time. And so if we worry about the possessions, and we talked about this with the boys, winning the race, right? So we want our wings to run the floor and win they're in a race against their defender. And if they win that race, then we have a chance to win that possession. If we win enough possessions, we'll win enough games. So those things would be nice to have happen, that if we win the district or make it the region, make it to state, those type of things. But honestly, just winning possessions, and staying focused on what's happening today with the guys that we have today, and working with the guys that we have today, and staying present in the moment, if that makes sense.
One play at a time.
One play at a time. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, just like my golf game. Just you hit one bad shot, don't follow it up with a second bad shot.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Let
right.
it go.
That's right.
Awesome.
right.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you, Coach.
Good.
All right, and now it's time. We're going to our second to last segment. It's the update on the girls' team. Henry, what did you talk to Coach Olson about? What do you think? What does he think?
Yeah, so Andrew, we caught up with Coach O a little bit in the Live Lab yesterday. Always his enthusiastic self, and you can tell that's definitely amplified due to his excitement for the basketball season. Girls had a pretty hefty win against Hume Fogg. I think scored 50 points, which is a very big accomplishment in your first game of the season. What Coach O really emphasized to us is their new style of play this year, right? They're focusing a lot more on sort of the flow and the principles of basketball rather than that sort of rigidity that we've seen in the past, with their set plays and stuff. And that's really just what he wants to focus on. Coach O's 3 goals of the season. He wants the girls to practice hard and play hard. He wants them to, of course, have fun. That's always the goal of any high school basketball coach. And wants them to stay ready to learn, which is pretty similar to what we heard from Coach Eubanks.
A Coach Olson team is always going to have fun.
Yes.
Right. And he leads from that position. He's always having a great time coaching. That's clear. And that transmits down to the players.
Yeah.
All right, and now it's time for our last segment, if you made it this far. it'll be predictions for the games for next week. Today is Ensworth. That's a scrimmage. We saw the format of that. I don't really think we could predict that. But the first game of the season, Antioch, next Tuesday, at home. The theme is neon. Henry, what's your prediction?
I mean, how can you not say we're gonna win our first game of the season, especially on a home opener like that? I'm saying wins for both our teams this time around.
I think there's just going to be an unbelievable amount of enthusiasm around these games for the boys and the girls both. Like I said in the earlier part of the show, there's a lot of newness around the boys team. They're going to be fired up to play for the new coach. They're going to be fired up to be first-time varsity players in the case of everybody basically except for Braylon. So I got the boys getting a win, and I got the girls getting a win as well. I'm going to say boys win it 60-49. And I'm going to say the girls win 55-38.
Nice. I heard from Braylon Davis that Antioch lost 4 of their starters because they were seniors, of course, so they graduated. So a very new Antioch team, just like USN. That being the case, I'm going to take USN 62, Antioch 58. And then for the girls, USN 51, Antioch 37. And then following it up on Thursday, boys travel to a hostile environment, Montgomeryville Academy, just down the road. On Thursday, what do we think about that, guys?
Yeah, obviously a very, very tough environment to play. NBA student section is always showing up and showing out for sure. Gonna be a tough game, but we do know the NBA, they're not looking as strong this year. Lost a decent amount of guys, graduated a couple seniors. I'm saying USN gets the upset win in a close game. I'll call it 64-62.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say I think that our girls team has a significant advantage over the NBA girls team. I think we're very likely to go to 2-0 after that, after Thursday night. I think on the boys' side, I agree with Henry. It should be a very close game. And I like the upset as well. I think the Tigers could get off to an undefeated first week and really be riding high going into the remainder of the season. I'm saying USN 48, NBA 47.
Defensive battle right there.
That's what it's going to have to be, I think.
Here's what I think about the NBA game. I think the team that wins, you hear the middle 8 in football a lot, right?
Yeah.
The last 4 of the second quarter and the first 4 of the third quarter.
Win
I think
middle 8.
it's the middle 4 for high school basketball. The Tigers did a great job in the middle 4 against Hume Fog. I really liked what I saw. And I think that's where if we can put up 10 points in the middle 4, easily win this game. So I'm going to say Tigers 55, NBA 50. A bit of defense there, but still a lot of scoring. And then, funny enough,
Should I switch my pick so that we don't have the announcers curse?
I don't know, because
You all see those graphics, right? Everybody picked this
Yeah.
team to lose, and then they won.
Who's gonna be
Well-
the one that always picks against you?
MLK girls on Thursday at home. We will be broadcasting that.
Let's
what do
go.
you guys think?
Yeah, always a really tough matchup. Kind of that downtown rivalry. It's kind of like embedded in our schools. It was a pretty good game last year, if I do remember. But obviously, gonna take the girls to win that game as well. Getting their 3-0 start to the season with that win against NBA.
Exactly.
I'm going to take MLK versus Tigers. I'm going to take USN Tigers to win in a low-scoring battle of 41-32.
I think the USN girls defense will be really good this year. So I like the call on the low scoring there as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys for making it this far. Be tuned in for the broadcast this week, and we will see you right here in 2 weeks.
Tigers on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tigers!